John Cena has had one of the most historical careers in WWE, and we are about to experience his final run in the company. It'll be really interesting to see who Cena works with, how long the programs are, and what that final match is going to be. So let's go through the list. Number 1, AJ Styles. Personally, just want to see this match one more time. I really liked their feud in 2016. AJ Styles coming into the company, their programs, their chemistry, it was really good. And I think you can get a healed up AJ Styles like he is right now, going at it just one more time to see who truly is the best between these two. Do it at Backlash to make it really fitting. AJ Styles also isn't going to have a ton more matches in him, and I think that fans would be disappointed if we didn't see this once again. Another match I want to see, maybe it's Monday Night Raw and it's a main event that's like 20 plus minutes and it's just going to be a blast, or they do it at a PLE. But I want to see John Cena come to the aid and tag with R-Truth. I want to see the two of these guys working together on Monday Night Raw for like a month, doing the backstage promos, the vignettes, R-Truth dressing up like Cena, the two of them doing 5-knuckle shuffles and attitude adjustments, having fun and giving R-Truth that moment. Let them celebrate in the ring together. It's been hilarious over the years to watch R-Truth's career and how he's just talked about how John Cena is his childhood hero. Make his wish come true. R-Truth is also like a gem for WWE. Everyone loves him. I don't think it would be necessarily a program you get on a pay-per-view, but I do think that you could do it for a couple of weeks and have fun with it on Raw. They could go up against like Judgment Day or some other faction and you could have them come out on top. It's a lot of closing chapters and closing the books and stories with Cena, I think, for his final run. Sure, we're probably gonna get younger talent coming in there. Maybe he'll have a match or feud with Carmelo Hayes. You're gonna want to see some up and coming stars get that rub and try to get to the next level, whether they beat Cena or don't. But I think for a lot of fans, they're gonna want to see Cena in the big matches, and hopefully it can just kind of time out. Another match I want to see, and again, it's kind of running it back, Kevin Owens versus John Cena one more time. Kevin Owens as a big nasty heel, just like when he came up from NXT and he immediately challenged John Cena with the open challenge and he was NXT champion. Let's do that again. Let's have Cena do an open challenge and let it be Kevin Owens. And again, it could be just a match on SmackDown that they have with John Cena in the main event where they book it and build it up, where he's doing an open challenge, or you could give us a feud and a program for a month. But the promos between these two guys is excellent. Kevin Owens has had some of the biggest matches in WWE with the likes of Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. I think WWE would feel really confident in having a match with Kevin Owens and Cena again. Does it need to happen? No, not necessarily. And again, everyone's got their taste and their picks because they're gonna say, I wanna see all of these NXT stars. I wanna see younger talent. Kevin Owens doesn't need it. AJ doesn't need it. But it's about having fun, I think, with this farewell tour. All right, another name. I don't know when they could do this. They probably should, just to see what would happen. Cody Rhodes, John Cena. Two baby faces, let them shake hands and let them go and have a match against, maybe it's heel Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. Maybe it's the Bloodline. Maybe it's just another combination of wrestlers that we just haven't even seen. It would be a lot of fun, whether it's a tag team match of Cody and Cena versus a team, or it's Cody and Cena one-on-one. Now, a match like that, it's huge. That could be a crown jewel match. That could be SummerSlam. It could be a WrestleMania in a final match. It'd be kind of cool if it was like December, Saturday night's main event in 2025, because that's when John Cena's run is going to be over. It'd be kind of cool if he finished things up with maybe Cody, but got some other options in there. I wouldn't see a match or a program of Cena and Cody being a really big thing. That's why I can kind of see it as like a crown jewel match. You know that Saudi Arabia loves to have just the big names show up. I think you could do just a one-off Cody Cena match. We've seen for several months with Cody Rhodes as well. He just has like one-off matches where he's had Logan Paul, he has had AJ Styles, Kevin Owens. And if he's not feuding with the Bloodline in 2025, Cody could do something else, like just have the match with Cena. Okay, another name, and I want this to be a program. I want it to be multiple months, but give it to me at least one more time, is going to be CM Punk versus John Cena, and do it at Money in the Bank. I have no idea when Money in the Bank is going to be next year, if it's going to be in Chicago, but if it was, it would just be apropos. Go back and look at their entire history together. They have such great chemistry. Punk has said numerous times in interviews how he has so much respect for John Cena, and likewise Cena to Punk. It would be awesome to see these guys going at it. Let them get in the ring together, get on the microphone, and that's something where you can pull so much history between these two, and let that do all of the heavy lifting, where you can then just have these two going at it. Money in the Bank 2011, that match between Cena and Punk is one of my favorite matches, and the build also is really tremendous. And the promos between those guys, like Punk and Cena, when they did that promo face-off where you had Laurinaitis and Vince, Triple H all involved, it was some of the best stuff I had seen in a long time at that point. Don't care who goes over, don't care if it's Cena or if it's Punk, but I would love to see those guys at this stage in their careers, for both of them, doing it one more time. Okay, another match probably is going to happen. It seems like, based on the news and reports, that it's likely. Logan Paul. I think, like it or lump it, I'm not the biggest fan of it all, but I think it is a big money match. That is a SummerSlam match. That could be WrestleMania. That is a crown jewel match. If they want to do a big time PLE and a big number, a big box office draw, that is one of those big matches. Regardless of what you think of Logan Paul, he can perform in the ring at a high level. He can do the promos. Cena's been on his podcast. You could pull a lot of stuff there, and we know that WWE puts Logan Paul in these giant matches with the biggest stars. He's had those matches already. He's had the match with Roman Reigns. I think it's probably fitting that he has a match with John Cena. And it's a way also that, like, Logan Paul can eat pins, and he could be a big snarky nasty heel, and you have the triumphant John Cena beat Logan Paul. I think it could go over, and I think it would be a big marquee match. Now, I have a couple more names on the list. I want to know, guys, in the comments, what does your list look like? His first match, final match, and some of the feuds you want to see. Comment below, subscribe to the channel too if you can. But next up on my list, Roman Reigns. Do you do Roman versus John again? Do you go back to it? Roman's character's evolved, and on paper, I'm like, absolutely. Roman, Tribal Chief, the original Tribal Chief, going up against John Cena. Things for Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, the first incarnation of it, head of the table, started with John Cena. And yeah, we've had John Cena, Roman Reigns before that, where WWE was trying so hard to get Roman Reigns as the top guy, and John Cena would just destroy him on the microphone on Raw, and Roman Reigns was just kerfuffled. He didn't know what to do. I think you could go back to this, because it's almost telling this evolution of their characters, especially Roman Reigns. Look at Roman and Cena, where Roman started, where that character was. Then look at where we were at SummerSlam, when it was Roman, kind of head of the table, Roman Reigns, and John Cena, where that character and that version of Roman was. Look at him now. Where is he going to be at 2025? Look at all the cinematic stuff they've been doing with WWE, with Cody and Roman, the bloodline. You could pull that off with Cena and Roman. Cena feeling like he needs to beat Roman Reigns one more time, and doing it properly. Like, I remember Cena versus Roman Reigns, head of the table version. It was Cena just being like, I just need to pin you. Like, I can get a little roll up on you. It was like, it's not compelling enough. Now you have different creative writing in there with Triple H and the rest of the producers and the rest of the creative team. They can do things differently. They can tell a more compelling story between Roman and Cena. And Roman Reigns' character has not shifted yet. He is still Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. It could be Cena wanting to go after Roman and getting that final win, saying, I need this. And again, that could be a SummerSlam match. That could be a Royal Rumble. Bad Blood next year. Another one that I think you got two of these, you gotta have a third one, and it's now or never. It really is. Talking about The Rock, the final boss, The Rock, and John Cena. Their story, their feuds together, is a little off. Cena taking jabs at The Rock back in the day. Their whole feud was just online at social media at the time. They've done the rivalry documentaries and everything on this. Both matches, a lot of fun. It was once in a lifetime. It was twice in a lifetime. They didn't do it a third time. Each guy has a win up on each other. And in one way, that's a cool way to end it, because you have both guys with a respective win. But now we have a time where you have a clear-cut heel in The Rock. In his final boss incarnation, it's some of his best work, I feel, in WWE that he's ever done. We also have the moment at WrestleMania 40, where The Rock hit a rock bottom on John Cena in the main event. You can call to that, you can call to their previous matches, all of their history. Treat it like a big documentary miniseries on Netflix for Raw if you want to, but you can do so much between these two guys. That is a blockbuster match, and if you're only gonna have Cena for 1 year, and you don't know how many matches you can even get out of The Rock. We know he's gonna be tied up with Cody and Roman, the bloodline, and all of those things. But what if you could get one other match? What if The Rock's schedule looks like a match against Cody, a match against Roman? What if he could give you one more, and it was, I don't know, Rock and John Cena at SummerSlam? 2025. That to me gets big like Hogan Rock. That feels special. Doesn't have to be necessarily like his last match in December or anything like that, but it can just be the guys just brawling. They don't have to do anything crazy. It could be almost like Cody Roman in reverse a bit in terms of having final boss Rock and his bloodline trying to take out John Cena, and John Cena has the likes of Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes and even Roman Reigns on his side. I just feel like you have this one opportunity next year to give fans that match. It is big enough. You have two Hollywood stars. And again, that element of The Rock as the final boss, I would love to see the promos of that and Cena versus what we got before where both were trying to be the babyface. Okay, a couple of more contenders here and a couple of little scenarios for you. Number one, I think Cena makes his return, his start to his farewell retirement tour. I think it starts on the first episode of Raw on Netflix. We're getting that in January, and then the next PLE is going to be the Royal Rumble. I think to make things huge for Netflix, for Raw, you have John Cena show up on Monday Night Raw for that debut episode. That has to be loaded as like a PLE in my opinion. You want to create buzz and hype. You need every superstar that is current day and like some like whatever you gotta do, they're gonna want to make that Raw Netflix episode feel massive. One of the ways I think you do that is you have John Cena show up. No, he does not have to have a match on Raw on the first night, but he can show up and maybe just declare that he's going to be in the Royal Rumble. John Cena showing up on WWE TV, it's gonna pop a rating, but it's on Netflix. We don't have to worry about ratings anymore. Well, that's kind of nice. But following that, I think then you can get into the Royal Rumble. Get John Cena to show up for his final Royal Rumble match. No, I don't expect John Cena to win the Royal Rumble, but he can get eliminated. He could get eliminated by Randy Orton. He could get eliminated by Gunther. And that begs the question too. What is John Cena's final WrestleMania match? WrestleMania 41 will not be his final match. That's going to happen by December, but 41 will be Cena's last Mania. So what would you do? My two names are going to be Gunther with the world title, and you do that at WrestleMania 41. And you have the story of Gunther being undefeated as world champion and John Cena challenging Gunther, maybe wins at Chamber. Maybe he does win the Royal Rumble, or he just challenges Gunther. But John Cena, the grizzled veteran, coming out and saying, I want one last title shot. I want one more crack at it, going up against the giant world heavyweight champion in Gunther. This huge mountain of an obstacle. And Cena's whole story can be trying to get the 17th title win, the 17th world title win, and beating Ric Flair's record. I do think, part of me really feels like WWE is gonna want John Cena to break the Flair record. They are tied right now. It's a built-in story that they can execute at any time. It doesn't have to be at WrestleMania. It could totally work at SummerSlam, but it is an amazing story. And no, I wouldn't see Cena going off with a 5-month title reign with the world title. It's not really believable. Is it believable that he would beat Gunther for the world title? I don't know. It's wrestling. You just have fun with it. It's how they tell the story. But it would be incredible for Cena to win that world title, to get the 17th win. Also, WWE, they like modern reigns. They like modern history now too. Triple H loves the old history, loves Ric Flair, but we've seen the long epic title reign and days of Roman Reigns with the title. Gunther had a historic reign as Intercontinental Champion, becoming the longest champion, beating Honky Tonk Man's record. You could then go on a pretty big, powerful reign as World Champion, where we've seen him already go through the likes of Randy Orton, and you could have Orton and Cena talking back and forth, how Orton couldn't get it done against Gunther, Cena feeling doubtful about it, but maybe he somehow pulls it off and becomes a 17-time world champion. WWE gives him that record, and WWE themselves, they love John Cena. He is integrated in the fold of WWE forever. He is their poster child for so long. You kind of want to point to him, I think, if you're WWE, and if you're marketing a lot, you want to point to someone like Cena and go, yeah, he's one of our biggest stars ever. He's also our biggest world champion ever with the most reigns, with 17 world title wins. You give him that, and that's kind of his legacy or part of it. I think that does a lot for John Cena. Could be Gunther, could be somebody else, but Gunther, Cena totally feels like it needs to happen. Okay, two more names in here. This one, I don't know if like we may never see him again, but I'm kind of wondering if it'd be cool to see it again. Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. Again, two guys with a ton of history. They came up in OVW together. They're both at the very end of their career. Could even be if WWE brings Brock back and Brock wants to come back. Maybe Brock wants or could get one more match. Be kind of cool if he had like a retirement match against John Cena. No titles involved, just a ton of history, and both guys can just shake hands at the end. And it closes that chapter between the two of them. And yes, the final one on the list is very obvious, and I think a lot of people want this as their final John Cena match or his final WrestleMania match. If I had to pick, I think his final WrestleMania match and opponent should be against Randy Orton. We have enough time between now and WrestleMania to get Randy Orton heel, become a vicious, nasty heel, and as I said, you could have John Cena declare on the Netflix Raw episode that he's going to be in the Rumble, and you could have Randy Orton eliminate him in the Royal Rumble, and that setting up their match for WrestleMania. Because it could be John talking on Monday Night Raw on the first episode on Netflix, saying how he wants that 17th world title win. He wants to fight Gunther or whoever is the champion, and he wants to do it at WrestleMania. You have him enter the Rumble, only for Randy Orton to cut him off. And in that moment, you get Randy Orton as a full-blown heel. You get all of the intrigue from the fans wondering if Cena will win the Rumble. Have him come out as number 30. Cena's not going to enter as number 1 or number 10 or anything like that. You put Cena towards the very end of the Rumble, only for Randy Orton to cost him. The crowd will boo him like crazy and set up their one-on-one match for WrestleMania. It's not the retirement match, but I don't think there's anything more fitting than that. Theory versus Cena was not good. And that's not how you want to end John Cena's legacy. John Cena's moment at WrestleMania with The Rock and all of that in the main event was a lot of fun. But given us 15-20 minutes of Randy Orton, John Cena, and the amount of promos and the amount of history you can pull from and the vignettes and all of it put together, you could have Randy Orton put down John Cena kind of once and for all. Whatever his final match is, final appearance, we simply don't know, and we don't know what that would even look like. I hope it just doesn't go out on a whimper. I thought his final match that we saw up to this point against Solo, Solo went on a losing streak after that. I hope his final match is something really special, really cool, and then after that, put him into the Hall of Fame. What do you want to see from John Cena's retirement tour in 2025? And if you guys want to talk more WWE, click this video right here. We got a lot more to talk about. Have a great day. See ya.